so much because they don't have the essence a true point guard.
Yeah.
Peace, beloved, peace. It's your homie, Young Content, the unofficial sensei of the culture, mastering youthfulness, contentment, and NFTs. We're in the dojo, and we got the dojo sound effects going on. Welcome to the dojo. Yeah. We do have a legend. He is safe. The ninjas captured him the way that the ninjas do. He is safe. They didn't have to use the ninja stars on him. He's an NFT legend, but we'll get to him very soon. He is a NFT marketing legend, founder of Multiplied, which is a public relations firm in the Web3 space. And he's just a cool ass fucking dude. A lot of people know him. The homie Matteo Santoro, Laura Zombie. This guy is a legend. But shout out to Special K in the chat. Shout out to Laura Zombie, throwing lemons and cherries and lightning bolts and wolves. Shout out to He-Man NFT, says GM. Shout out to Dill on that track. GM, it's catchy. I've been good. How's your mind? How's your energy? We're back officially. We had a 3-week hiatus. We've been doing shows nonstop this week. Earlier this week on Tuesday, we had Ape Reunions, Wicked Bullish, and Cyrus Abraham. Thursday, we had the Gurus come back, Metamori, Deadstock. We talked about some cool stuff, goblins, all that jazz. And today, we're educating the space on what it takes to be a marketing legend and get his story. So without further ado, shout out to Jackie Wilson. I see you, beloved. We got to get a beer in Charlotte, homie. Sif World is in the building. Sifty Gateway. Daniel Ferrero. We love Ben. Shout out to Ben's the GOAT. Yeah, let's find out how goated he is. Without further ado, welcome the NFTGURU. I don't want to give his real name. Let's see if he wants to give his real name. What up, dude?
What's up, man? What's up?
Dude, you
how's everybody doing out there?
Dude, the ninjas kidnapped you in that black van and they brought you to the dojo. You like the dojo? It's a nice aesthetic here, huh? Hi.
Thank you. You know, it's funny enough. So my gamer tag and people from high school and stuff knew me as Ninja Neb. Because I flipped my name backwards, Ben Neb. And that's what I was running with for the long time. Before I was the NFTs, I was Ninja Neb. So I had the shurikens up.
Neb's Declassified NFT Survival Guide. That's you, for sure. Neb is all the way. I mean, yeah, you're grown up now, dude. Are you still a gamer? Are you still Neb online sometimes?
Yeah. I feel too old to be young. Yeah, man, I'm still gaming. I'm still gaming. My dad's still gaming. Dad's up, getting up into his 70s, and he's still gaming. So
Dude.
It runs in the family.
So for those that don't know who you are, give us the spiel of who is the NFTs and who are you in the space.
I'm just a guy. Let's not throw around the word legend.
He's not just a guy.
Yeah. So I'm
that guy.
was an early. I'm that guy. I was an early adopter of NFTs. I was 2018 playing around with the CryptoKitties stuff and blockchain cuties and hedgies and some of these other weird ones you guys probably haven't heard of because CryptoPunks and some of the other ones got the limelight there. But we were playing around with Play to Earn 2018, messing around with Gods Unchained. I'm one of the top collectors over there.
Me too. Holy smoke! I just was fucking playing today. Wild.
Yeah, I own the entire Genesis set. Well, with the exception of course, those beautiful 101 legendaries, which nobody's gonna let me have them for less than like $1 million at this point.
Wow. A lot of people before you go more into your spill, they don't give Gods Unchained credit of being OG in here, dude. They always talk about CryptoPunks. Dude, Gods Unchained is legendary.
Shout out to Robbie and James Ferguson. Like those guys over in Australia just really, really knew what was coming before anybody else. And they were the ones who really sold me on the play to earn vision, which I suppose now we've evolved that to play and earn, which I like a little bit better, but it is the same thing, but yeah. You want to get into a little bit more of it?
Yeah. So I know the title of the stream is called The Marketing Behind NFTs and More. I feel like when people that know you that you literally help people on board. You help people get a voice out there. You're just genuine with it. You have a lot of good connections, but you're living in your purpose. You're in your bag. Like, what is it like to how did you get that way? How did you just know how to connect people and know how to pick projects and curate and then you have a project called Multiplied, right? Right.
Soon to have a new name and a rebrand. So stay tuned for that. Multiplied is mostly a public relations agency, and so that's really where I got involved. Was 2017. I was reading the news. I was looking at what everyone was saying about blockchain, and I was shocked by how many journalists just got it wrong. Didn't go deep enough, had a very surface understanding of it. And I was like, this is a public relations problem. This is a problem of brands not being able to communicate to journalists in a layman's terms. And I'd already kind of developed an ability to do that by working in the software world, and was taking really complicated concepts like artificial intelligence and breaking it down. So I was like, it's time to jump in. And so that's kind of where the PR component of Multiplied got its start. And then we've just been growing, scaling, developing these amazing relationships. And my clients are getting their message out to the world. And, now I'm doing marketing, we're doing consulting. Because I was so early to the play to earn and the NFT stuff, I've been just eating NFTs. And at 20,000 NFTs now, hoping to get more.
You got a little Mark Cuban in you, dude. I know you live in Dallas too. Are you a Mavericks fan?
I'm not in Dallas. I'm in Austin. But
Jesus, I fucked that up.
No, I just got out here, so I can't claim it. I'm originally from North Carolina.
I gotta give you the APO on that one. Hold up. Wow. That the smile screams sweet tea and Bowberry biscuits.
Yeah, buddy. The country comes out like strong when I'm around other country people. So
Special K says NC holla. I just hear Missy Elliott saying holla at that point. Dude, you're from North Carolina. That's awesome, dude. North Carolina is underrated. It has a lot of legends. Ninth Wonder, J. Cole, now you got me, maybe, wild.
I really wish North Carolina was doing more in the blockchain growth area. But hey, if you're out there, get that, get that community humming, get us growing, because it could be the next Austin, it could be the next San Francisco.
What do you think we need to do, dude?
You know what it is? I think a lot of the people out there is still sold on the biotech stuff. And you have a lot of the research triangle, that's all, Bayer, DuPont, like those big name companies. And so that's monopolizing. IBM's out there, that's cool. But we need more, like traditional tech and software for them to get interested.
Do we need like Sam Bankman-Fried to just buy the Panther Stadium or something?
Just buy the entire state. I mean, that's the kind of money he's fucking with now, right? Like buy an entire state.
Dude, I don't know. I think that would be a real socialist vibe. I don't fucking know. Sif World says the NFTs has the most genuine heart in the game. Shout out to Sif, Mateo Santoro in the building. Sometimes North Carolina is a little slow catching up on new things. Jackie Wilson, it says Bowberry is the real alpha plays. NFT CLT is trying. Dude, I hope you come back. I hope you, when you do become a giant conglomerate like Bill Gates, or you can come back to North Carolina and bless it.
Maybe we'll build a branch out there. I'm like, we're expanding right now, and I'm looking at where we want to be next. I think Austin's been great to us, and LA's been great to us. I think we got more cities in mind for where we want to take this next. But my team's everywhere. Those are just the areas where we have the highest concentration of people. So.
What were you like as a young child? What was your mom and dad like? Did you grow up as like listening to a bunch of Eminem and ciphers? Did you start fights? Were you a problem child? Like, how did you get this prowess to be a mogul businessman or future mogul businessman?
It was funny. I was really kind of shy and quiet up until like I was 9 years old, and then I hit this wild hair and never shut up. So
I gotta get the haha on that.
I think at that point, that transition into my better self, I became just kind of a goofball, a bit of a class clown. Dad was military intelligence. Mom was stay at home for a while. Then she was doing, she was actually a teacher for a little bit. And then she was a dog trainer for 10 years. So my mother was very entrepreneurial as a stay-at-home mom. So I think, shout out to moms for imbuing me with the entrepreneurial spirit. And my dad was the tech brain. So I think I'm a hybrid of those two. I think all kids are hybrids of their parents.
Yeah, I still don't understand DNA and how this code creates humans, but it seems like it created a good one in you.
Oh, thanks, man.
What did you have brothers and sisters that kind of went down that same path? Did you kind
of? My sister is the first doctor in our family.
Wow.
So she went the long route and did the extra schooling and all that stuff, and she's now out in the world. Oh my gosh, she's a doctor. My sister's 2 years older than me. We love each other, but we fought all the time growing up, because when you're in that close range, that's what you do, especially in high school. Like, we were teenagers, we were dicks to each other. And then I have a stepbrother, so my mother and father separated, mom remarried. In that marriage, I got my brother Jake. Jake, if you're listening, he's big into NFTs. He's a little lemon. He's out there and getting involved in communities. So there is some sibling mind share going on there. I try to get them as involved as I can.
Wow. Before we break down the alpha, I have a sense from a lot of the people I meet in NFTs that they've been through shit. They've been broken. It's kind of like a dark comedy. Have you ever? Did you go through a revelation phase or a breaking of your soul to find this like charisma and this humor?
My
favorite.
It's
a little personal, but.
No. My favorite quote is an Ernest Hemingway quote, and it's about that. It's the world breaks everyone, and often we're stronger in the broken places, but those that will not break it kills. And so conceptually, it's like adversity builds character. I have a tattoo. I've got a tattoo of a demon and an angel.
Wow.
On
I didn't know that. Holy fuck.
And so it's dichotomies. I think that we learn through adversity. And so, yeah, there's a lot of struggling, there were times in my life where I was around a lot of darkness and learned from it. But I think the thing that motivated me and kind of turned me into who I was, I wanted to be in advertising for a while, and I didn't know what that meant, but I knew that I liked this wordplay, this ability to really turn that into an art form. And I actually was one of the guys that I still have commercials on my television because I enjoy seeing what people are putting out there. Weird.
Wow.
But I walked into an ad firm and I had a CMO tell me I was never going to make it and that I wasn't good enough. And all he did, I at one point I was in tears. I came out of the office and it felt like they invited me into the interview just to break me down. And I was like, and this was a professional agency. And I was just like, this is what's out there. Like this is what I have to look forward to, even if I was successful. And I was like, no, nobody's going to say no like that. I'm going to make my own destiny. And I packed my stuff and I moved to California. And I started my journey out there. Just kept punching up. And here we are now, learning as we go, building the plane as we fly. But
you literally said, hey, I'm just going to saddle the horse. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm going to hold the goddamn reins. Yeah. And I'm going to build a stallion army around me.
If I don't know it, I'm going to learn it. And if somebody's doing it better than me, I'm going to go find them and learn from them. And so, check your ego at the door and just have conviction and drive hard. And that's been my mantra, is just like every time I get broken or I found out I wasn't doing something the way I should, I didn't let it shatter me. I let myself grow from it.
Well, shout out to the chat. Metamori's in the building. Says make my own destiny. Hell fucking yes.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful story. True inspiration. Metamori is an inspiration in the game too. Still here in the bear, showing love, positivity. One day, dude, they need to get you on more speaking engagements all over the world with your VTuber Basie rig.
Yeah, they do.
What was that blueprint like in stage one, bro? Like the first game level, like level one. Like what was that for your company? How did you grow? Like what strategies did you implement? Like can you give the people in the audience like some nuggets?
Well, I was working at a software company. I walked into the CEO's office. It was like, I'm leaving in 6 months. Will you let me keep researching and building, knowing that? And he was like, yeah, go for it. So first thing was like, I had to build up enough savings that I was okay doing this, because 2017 there was an opportunity. People were hiring for what I wanted to do. So I had to go out there and just hit it and go to everybody who I thought needed that support and said, hey, do you need PR help? Hey, do you need PR help? So it was really a grind. It was a one-man team at the time until I was able to find a place where they were like, hey, we have some resources. We'll let you build a little bit of your repute. Actually, I wasn't really the founder of Multiplied. Nancy and Hector what started as a social agency, and I took over and built the PR department. And then they handed me the keys and said, hey, you've done an amazing job with this. It's yours now. Go drive it. But they gave me access to my first client, Synthetics. Shout out to Kane Warwick. He's one of the pioneers in derivatives and stuff like that. And so he gave me a shot. I worked for free for them for a while. They came back, were like, Ben does a great job. And more clients started coming in, started making my first hires. But the reality was, ate shit for 6 months and got zero pay until I could prove that I could do it. Kane Warwick. Yeah. So Synthetics was Haven at the time. They rebranded, but really killed it. And then, shout out to my partner Ivan, who came out and really when we ended up taking over Multiplied, he came in with just this beautiful vision of how to build and create architecture in constructs. So without him, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So I can't sit here and own it all by myself. My business partner is, part of the lifeblood of what Multiplied is.
Wow.
And,
You see that, guys? Give credit where it's due, because you ain't gonna like the karma that's set up on you. He did it. I love that. During 2018, 2019, there was a huge winter, the Great Bear Winter. There was no food on the table. I was a loser at that time for 2 years, just struggling. I had a big crypto altcoin bag that I just held. Really was trying to find my niche myself. What was that bear market? You were through the Great Bear Winter of crypto.
I get nostalgic over it. I think it was kind of fun. We were in the office with Alchemy and Sendwire, and I think, was it Paradigm? It was one of the VCs was like down the hall. But at the time, like, we were all just kind of like weathering the storm, and we would play a bunch of Smash Brothers in our free time.
You were playing Smash Brothers with Paradigm?
Not Paradigm, but Alchemy in particular loved their Smash tournaments. Like the VC guys had like a separate office down the hall. They would come in occasionally. So, when you have conviction in what you're doing in the technology set, and you're like, I'm right, you just ride it out. And we rode it out for a couple of years. And there was a time where people were running out of money, and it was a little bit dour. But I think everybody knew that the brain power there, that we were going to come out ahead no matter what. If we had to pivot, if we had to do something else, we were going to make it work. So that, again, speaking to conviction there.
Yo, you going off. They were questioning you right now on the iPhone. Yo, Ben, you got this meeting. Dude,
that's my business partner going, say this.
Holy smokes, he's watching.
Yeah, he's watching. What up, Ivan?
What's his name?
Ivan.
Shout out to you, Ivan. Ivan, the not so terrible.
Ivan Perez. And I have to butcher it because I'm white, and I'm like Ivan, but it's Ivan.
Got you. So yeah, I feel like during that winter, all I had was NFTs, so it felt like a 2008 recession. How did you get out of that and just start flying out the gates? And then we'll go into more of the front running story.
I think it was actually the cool thing about like marketing and public relations is that doesn't necessarily go away when things are bad. If in fact, it actually makes it more important, because people need to stand out more in the bear market, because they're vying for a smaller subset. This bear market feels weird because there's been absolutely no slowdown, because everyone now understands this as a 3 to 5 year build out, and people are willing to double down at this stage. I think back then there was fear, and there was so much fear that people were not necessarily willing to double down on it. And those that did are killing it right now. So I think we go through these phases of when we're working with somebody in those capacity, understanding and being more forgiving of where they're at, but like really getting to the root of who they are and what their story is, and just becoming champions for that, and understanding that if it doesn't mean immediate sales conversions, that's not the worst thing. It's like, do people buy into what you're selling by way of who you are and what you envision? And so that's never going to stop.
Yeah, small steps travel really far. If you could get those small engagement numbers, then they can start scaling. Yeah, that's good signs all around.
Yeah.
You have clients such as like Bilyeu, right?
Bilyeu, yeah.
Bilyeu, yeah. I saw him on. He was interviewing Mark Zuckerberg about Meta, and I cannot believe that he's one of your clients. That's so dope. Did you make that connection?
Tom came through Gary V. Gary, I reached out to Gary at the early stages of the NFT boom, because I saw he started getting involved, and his people were like still figuring out what they wanted to do at the time, but they were like, we have this guy, Bilyeu, that is just such an amazing human being and has this real big vision, and needs somebody to kind of Sherpa him through the crypto environment. And I was like, let's hook it up. So we started working with him, and he really has just continued to impress He's brought in some amazing rock stars, John Brood, who was formerly at Disney, doing marketing over there, and just his ability to tap into the zeitgeist and also his just crazy network from Impact Theory and the amazing videos he does and interviews has just set him up for success. So excited to see what comes out of his project Kaizen and Impact Theory.
For sure. Who else is on that roster that you're representing? Because I feel like I have to just tell grandma and everyone to just like go with your firm, because you make all-stars. You literally are the Steve Kerr of the game here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we did a little bit of work with CZ back in the early Binance back in the day, but we helped kick off Solana. We had a lot of success, you know, playing in the layer ones. We did some scaling solutions, stuff like that. But like in the NFT world, Gods Unchained was one where I went to them and I was just like, I want to work for you. I want you to be a client. Like, what do we got to do to make it happen?
Yeah, I had Chris Clay on the show, and that
I love Chris.
just talking to him and stuff, you could see that you guys share a lot of the same ethos.
Yeah. Me and Chris is actually still, I think, in my Slack somehow. So we never disconnected Slack with those guys. So
to have a client like Chris Clay, homie, God almighty, Wizards of the Coast, Magic the Gathering, legendary.
I got to announce when he came on board. That was like one of the funnest like circuits that we did, because at that time there wasn't like a lot of celebrity in the space. It was just like, you know, still
the marketing was so good for Gods Unchained that it got me to fucking go crazy on it. Like, and that was like a bare area. Like that was an area where it was just a sandbox, and you could just that one stuck out. Crazy.
Their internal team member Tyler, and I'm blanking on his last name, but like Tyler did just such a good job with orchestrating a lot of that, and you know, especially like soliciting feedback from the community. The beta testers, I don't remember if you betaed, but like they were really, really good at trying to balance the game and get everyone's input and take it to heart. So yeah,
for sure. What I wanted to ask you, what does it take for, say, a PFP project or some rockstar devs to really stand out now in NFTs? Now we have such an oversaturation. You know, you got people buying goblin art. You know, people have short attention spans like fucking a grape. Like, what does it take people to stand out in their marketing strats as a solo creator?
I think we're seeing the rise of smaller collections, which I think is the right approach here. Unless you're going to start lowering that barrier to entry, those price points to bring in like way more users. Like Goblin Town is successful right now because it was a zero. It didn't cost anything to mint, so it's obviously easy to get people on board, and when you're not charging anything but gas fees. But I am starting to see more of like the 1,000 collections, some more like hand curated community members. And so that's something I've been championing a lot, is if you're going to set up kind of a major project in the ecosystem, being selective about who the first 20% of people are through the door is not a bad thing. And approaching them and having real one-on-one conversations. A lot of people are just putting out collections and then pushing marketing. And I'm like, did you go individually to these people you want a part of it and say, this is what I'm doing? Like, if you're not hand selling right now and getting buy-in from the right community members, don't be surprised when your community members are all just flippers or flaky or fudsters, you know? And so
flippy, fake, flaky fudsters. Jesus, man, I really wish. Damn, they are everywhere. But yeah, you're right. How do you do that then? Just one-on-one building?
You know, a lot of it is relationship building, and that's where I think we're rock solid, and where we've been helping a lot of people is coming in and understanding, okay, like who would be a valuable community member and what capacity, and who's going to participate, who's not. I'm not saying you got to vet like 10,000 people, but like I said, making sure that you got at least like a solid 100 in there that want to engage and want to be a part of your process and in your vision, and then being clear about that. I think, you know, Goblin Town's clarity is we have no roadmap. At least that's clarity. At least we know that it's you know, if we're in it for the meme, we're in it for the meme.
Yeah.
But
there's no influence that you have to do. There's no fucking background promises here. Yeah.
right, and that's more aligned with the zeitgeist of like Web3 is like projects like that can be appropriated and the community can start making those decisions. But
Someone said that's the next PFP train. Flippy fake Flusters. I guess they're gonna really start making flippy fake Flusters, bro. For real.
please mint Flippy fake Flusters. I think that would be
Yeah, the art is just straight up fucking morbid and dirty stained. Yeah, that's just that would go to a 10 easily.
Yeah, you know, and I'm not going to be the kind of person who comes in here and it's like, everything's got to have utility attached to it, or you know, or utility is not important. It is and it isn't. It just depends on what you're trying to create. I think some people are creating without knowing, and that can be difficult, and that's challenging. And I think if you're rushing something out and you're not necessarily thinking through everything, if you're not genuine about that, the community eventually feels it, and they're like, oh crap, I got into bed with somebody who shipped me kind of a bunch of empty promises and a roadmap that's unrealistic, and that's when you see people jump ship as well. And so like, if you're going to come in with the conviction of utility, come in with the conviction of utility, and have your research done, build. Yeah. And then also I think communities are very unforgiving. I think people expect the AAA game to come out in 3 months is just not practical. If you're buying into a game and somebody's saying like that game's already built, cool. But if it's roadmapped and you're expecting it within 1 year, consider that Diablo was like Diablo 3 or 4 was like being teased out for like 6 to 12 years before they dropped that game.
Jesus. Yo, we're gonna get to that topic. So someone said, yeah, y'all smash that like button for Young and NFTs. Please, guys, if you ever had a good steak, medium rare, and you didn't throw up, smash the like button. Please. That's if you have done that. So you're saying, you know, focus on the 20%. I remember in Top Shot, I kind of did that strategy too. I found the voices, the deck nuts, the Metamories, the snipers, and we just built something from the ground up, and then I branched off my own thing. It's really important to just like, would you say go on Twitter Spaces, build your friend base? Like, how do you do it practically? Twitter Spaces?
I mean, I believe in transparency in conversation, and I think a lot of these people want to hire a community manager to do that for them. I'm sorry, you've got to show up, and it like, we saw this a lot with like celebrity NFTs, where it's really disappointing if you're claiming that you're like the sole creator of something and you don't want to have open conversations with your fans, with those people, and put forward the effort. I'm not going to reward you.
Yeah, you look like a douche.
No, I'm not going to reward you with like a 12 million overnight sale, like, you know, with egregious like pricing mechanisms, and you not show up and actually inform me in some capacity of what you've got planned. I'm just not going to do it. And I'm not going to trust the guy that you hired to say stuff to speak for you. I want to see you say.
John Wall really dropped the ball on that one with the baby ballers. He's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I mean, and it does happen. I think people get overwhelmed, but then the communication, this is why we exist, right? Like, from a consulting standpoint, I don't think that's necessarily intuitive to everybody. And so sitting down with founders and telling them, this is what is expected of you in Web3 is not what was expected of you in Web2. It wasn't expected that the CEO of Blizzard come out and speak every time a video game was doing certain things, but we're in a different world now, and you're either going to be a transparent person who really wants to be involved in this transformational technology, or you're going to look like you're just trying to prey off people.
Yeah, especially long are the days of being closed source, saying stuff like, you know, I have a secret, but I'm not going to tell you the secret. You know, open source is so beautiful. It speeds up our evolution so fast as well. And this whole space is just about evolving at a really crazy quantum rate. And yeah, bro, I think what you're doing, that's why I wanted you on the show, is super important because we have so much bad narratives right now on YouTube about NFTs. Like, people are literally rejoicing that Bored Apes are like 20% down, like, and making videos about NFTs are dead. I told you. You know, they're literally taking videos of people losing their apes and saying, "Look at this dumbass! Like, he don't invest in NFTs." People really don't like us on YouTube. Or
Yeah,
just the media.
it's the new thing to hate on. I mean, like, history has proven that the crypto guys are historically right. Sorry, but like 2007 Bitcoin till now, you could every year there was a Bitcoin is dead moment.
Yep.
And journalists seized on that. And I talk about this a lot when I go on spaces because people are worried about the negative PR. And I'll say this. There are a lot of journalists out there that aren't trying to get correct information. They said something publicly and they made their bed. Once you politicize your opinion and you inject opinion as a reporter and say this is bad or this is toxic without fully understanding it, you have to kind of fall on that sword. And I think it becomes harder and harder to do that. So the early publications that didn't get it, that put out material that says, you know, crypto is bad and here's why, are always looking to double down any chance they got to prove themselves correct. And it'll break at some point, but for right now, like, I'm not worried about it because NFTs are just going through the same cycle all crypto went through from 2007, 8 till now.
Who was that crazy gold bug at that time that was just like flooding in a Bitcoin all the time? He was like a crazy gold bug.
And his son's into Bitcoin, and he changed. He flipped a little there.
He was always doubling down. That guy is a fucking moron. I would love to get him on the show.
I don't think you know what's funny? I think it's a persona thing.
Really?
And I've met people that are like that as well. You're talking about him, aren't you? You know, like, you know, he knows what he's selling. And Gary said something on one of his shows that I really loved, and that was, I'm not going to try to convince people anymore. Like, people are like, sell me on NFTs, sell me on crypto, sell me on Bitcoin. No, sell yourself on it or get left behind.
Yeah, I love that. Hold on, I gotta give it the sheesh on that one. Sheesh. Sell your goddamn self. Holy smokes. I cannot hold your hand. Okay? The floor is lava.
Well, and it's a show me, don't tell me world. So, like, until we remove all these friction points and it becomes something that people are just enjoying and we're not sitting there trying to sell them on it, it's going to be a problem. But, like, you know, if we gave up on cars after the Model T and we were like, well, it consumes a lot of energy, it's not that fast, it breaks down all the time, et cetera, we wouldn't be.
We're going back to walking and horse.
Yeah, exactly.
Horse and buggy.
People are like, journalists are there. It's like, cars are stupid. They'll never work. You know,
it's ridiculous.
You don't throw out technology sets because the early iterations or the early concepts and constructs don't fit. You iterate until it makes sense, or if you see value. And we are seeing value. We're experiencing value. We're not experiencing convenient value at a commercial level yet, but I would say 2025. I would expect to see NFTs without the term NFT.
That's
Hopefully.
deep. Oh, I gotta give you the ooh. That's deep. Yeah. Just, you think the word will just completely go away?
I don't know if it'll go away. I just think I think we're abstracting away the technology side. Like, you know, I know what the internet is. Do I need to know how
it should just be called value?
Yeah.
Change the NFT word to value.
Digital art, you know, it's digital art or digital assets, or, you know, that's what they are. The NFT is the scarcity component. It's the digital DNA, if you will, that gives it uniqueness. Before any kind of cryptography or anything to denote one thing from the other, it was just kind of like you could print stuff infinitely and there was no ledger of sequence 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just mapping that onto our understanding of the internet. And that's why it's called Web 3, is because, you know, Web 1 and 2 were more like, you know, open databases. It was centralized. It was Amazon Web Servers or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. You said something really great too. It's like when you have to convince someone to buy an NFT, 9 out of 10, you're gonna go down the wrong path. You know, you're seeing that right now with the flipping Fudster, whatever you said earlier. I mean, people are telling people what to buy. Hey, buy this, pump my bag. You know, if you don't have that conviction and that's research, you're just gonna be, you know, a consumer instead of a producer. You know.
Yeah, and you know, it's really hard to see people trying to day trade this stuff and getting wrecked because.
Wrecked.
Yeah. You know, we're running at like a 1 week cycle that a stock market is doing an entire year. So it's like, if you think crypto is fast, NFT is that much faster. But like, I'll see something go from, you know, 0 to 16 ETH and then back to nothing in a matter of 3 months. And so there is kind of, sometimes it's just like, you know, these tribes jumping in, jumping out, jumping in, jumping out. But what's going to capture people and keep them there? That's the point where we got to stop thinking about this as a monetary asset where you can make a lot of money, but where it brings enough value to the person that they're like, I'm not selling this because that's not why I bought it, was to sell it.
I'm not selling this because this shit is the next Star Wars, my dude, and I'm not gonna be the dude that sold the Boba Fett action figure for fucking $10.
Yeah. Or it's just like, I didn't buy the action figure to sell it. I bought it to play with it. I didn't buy the game to sell it. I didn't buy the movie to sell it. You know, I bought it because I liked it. And if it became a collector item, so what? You know, great. But, you know.
Yeah, that is a polarity in the space. As above, so below. It literally is a polarity. You have that side, and you have the real convicted side that is really doubling down on their really long-term plays. You know, and you can play the game short-term, mid-term, long-term. I play long term. I don't know why. It's just safer that way. I don't get wrecked. I don't lose my ETH. I like my ETH. And we're seeing a bunch of cool long term creators. You know what I mean? That are coming in the game. Who are some that stick out to you? I mean, as a curator, collector, you seem like an intelligent collector. Who are some long term plays you're holding and hedging for Valhalla?
But I'm drinking out of a Cool Cats mug right now.
Boom. Bingbo. Okay.
Cool Cats is one that they got flamed for the game, but like, guys, that game came out so quick. It's more like DeFi mining right now. It's not really what we would expect from a game, but you know, the CAA partnership and some of the things that they've got behind the scenes where they're looking to commercially expand their IP, I think is the right play. And I think it's a slow game. It's people are getting disappointed in the short term, but not understanding where the long term is going to play out. And not that matters. Again, like, you either like it or you don't. If you're buying it as a speculative vehicle, there's other things I can recommend. But you have David Horvath, who's got a Nick Jr. show coming up. It's on his profile in 2023, and he was doing some amazing stuff early on. Oni, you know, I got brought in as
you look like a genius with Oni right now, just with the whole Rugzuki vagabond. Like, you're really looking like this is gonna pop off.
I was lucky, and I feel bad about the Azuki thing because, you know, I got in and I was really hyped about Azuki. One thing Azuki did incredibly well, and you know, I'm not going to speak to what the founder, you know, got caught doing or whatever, but like the value of the quality of content was setting a new benchmark. If you're going to do teaser trailers, if you're going to put money and things behind it, what he did to the other communities or didn't do, I'm not vibing with. But you know, I bought an Azuki early on and I flipped it. I sold one for 80 ETH. I made a post about it, but like, I didn't know about that stuff either. But the Oni guys, I've had lots of conversations with them, and their brain is in the right place. They're in innovation on frames and recall functions where you can have a complementary asset, which a lot of people aren't even aware of, where you can have an NFT and then a complementary asset that is your functional gateway into a website or elsewhere, can be recalled with the click of a button back to your wallet. So you can take the original asset, put it in cold storage. Somebody hacks my wallet and steals my Oni frame, I can just go onto the website, hit reclaim, and it's back in my cold storage wallet. That's crazy.
That's innovative as fuck.
Yeah. Not enough people are talking about it. Because it's going to allow for in-game lending, player lending, all kinds of stuff where you can start using those assets in dynamic ways. Yeah.
I honestly, I feel like they're just the underdogs slowly rising, the Goonies, slowly you give them more years and years and they're going to have that precedent.
Well, where everyone got mad, right? Because people spent like 45 ETH on their character, and then like a month later, like they're like, "There's no game live," and I was like, "What do you expect? Like a game to just, or a comic or a Netflix series? It doesn't happen that fast, guys." Yeah, sorry. So it's a good anime. Yeah, man. I'm consulting with obviously Mateo's Santoro. Oh man, both me and you vibe hard. Mateo's project.
Sif world, bro. Sif is.
If you are sleeping on Sif, you are out of your mind.
I'm so happy I own his first trailer too. So happy I own that.
I got 5 tombstones.
Jeez. Well, what is a Sif literally just came out like Andre the Giant, you know what I mean? In a sense, just like, who is this juggernaut? I feel like he has to get that marketing right, and then it's over.
He's making progress. We text all the time, and through other people in the network too that are like Midnight Movie Club with Matthew Lillard, consulting on that project as well. Lillard, if you're not familiar, is like in Scream. He's Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and one of the most genuine human beings that, I love that guy. We also, and his partner, Bill, oh my God, I would be totally mistaken if I didn't mention his business partner who's been out there just absolutely crushing it. And they're going to be doing some like epic stuff in the future. James Costa, Clubhouse Archives, he's working on some really cool stuff. These are projects that haven't even come out yet that I'm bullish on. And that I see actively building. And then, you have your mainstays. I think Yuga Labs is just like, don't sleep on anybody who's blue chip right now, because they have the resources and they get it, man. If you saw the Yuga Labs deck, you're like, all right, these guys are serious about what they're going to build. I can't name all the people that I'm bullish on. I just know that I'm going to be in it for a 5 to 10 year journey, and I'm not going to talk to people about what the value of the price is intraday. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, Sith is a long-term play for me. I think, seeing his red carpet one day, seeing his movies premiere, his prequel assets, that's a guy that you just put a battery behind his back. The assets are there. The way that he did it on his own. His trailer, all that stuff is just, he has all the tools to succeed.
I'm so missing a big one and love him to death. I hold almost like 1%, maybe 2% of the Lucky Ducky supply. Jeremy Fisher, God, Robot Chicken, Hallmark, like one of the best claymation artists around, worked with like Tim Burton. Kids like got skills for days, and his project is so being slept on right now.
What's the project is this?
Lucky Ducky.
Is that on OpenSea? He worked with Tim Burton?
Yeah, he is a family-friendly PFP. It was generative claymation art where he had to make the bills and everything. You can even see his fingerprints in the impression of the characters that he has there. So really, really cool project.
Alpha plays only.
and he's got the connect, man. He's done shows before. He knows how to make it in that world. And you know, those are the people that are just so genuinely building for the sake of building. He's not over promising anything. He's just delivering. So that's cool.
I love that. Just leaking and oozing alpha for the audience. We really appreciate that. I know, you know, I'm super bullish on Huxley and their robots and the humans. And one thing Huxley I like about is Feature with Steven, the CEO of Feature. He's really doing some cool IP licensing stuff in the Hollywood space, and he's bringing a lot of cool NFT projects along with him to get their IP to and smart contracts, or using that in commercials, getting your royalties coming. You know, just a really dynamic approach to IP licensing.
Yeah,
and that's the stuff that's gonna win, right? Like your IPs, your contracts that are all the back end stuff.
All the smart, you know, Blau with Royal, like that's a smart project. You got Audius, you have, I mean, there's so many, just like the music NFT space. Flosstradamus, man, Kurt got some really, really brilliant concepts. I'm always impressed by like these polymaths, like Grammatic and Blau and RAC and stuff that are more than just musicians and amazing artists by themselves. They have a tech mind, and when you talk to them, you're just like, oh my gosh, you know, they deserve every bit of applause that they're getting for what they've built here. And so like you do have a celebrity that comes in that's looking to like prey on the space, and then you've got guys like them that are, you know, hiding their celebrity behind their work, and it's just like it shows.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm in a time machine right now, back in like the 1995, and I can imagine them having conversations about like Pokemon Yellow, Blue and shit, and just Beanie Babies and fucking trading cards. It's literally, I feel like I'm in a time capsule talking about all these great artists and featured collections.
You know, and there's plenty of room for everyone, because it, you know, I hate when we're all like, we're early. We are still early. I think if you just got socialized into NFTs 2 years ago, and I'm telling you, AAA games and movies take 3 to 5 years to build, adjust your timeline accordingly.
When you said Diablo took 12 years and D-Gen's expecting a fucking full-fledged AAA game in a month, yeah, adjust your timeline accordingly.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's going to take 12 years, but I am saying that, you know, at minimum you should be expecting like good IP to take some time, and that time is not 3 months, and their job is not to pump your
yeah they're
back.
showing you their process along the way. That has never happened either, so it's like you got to take it for a grain of salt. You got to just, you know, buckle down when they're showing you their process.
Yeah. And I think there are some independents that'll win too. I like Zane and Chippy World, and you know, he's cutting his teeth. You know, he did a lot with Vayner before launching his own projects. And there are just guys that are incredible artists, and they should be rewarded for their good art. And I think if you're looking for like short term to reward people with no expectation, look at some of these artists that are out there that are just doing amazing digital art, and I will pay for that art just to have it on my wall at home. I don't
Look at Defaced. Holy shit, Defaced is beast. Have you ever seen Defaced? Holy
Defaced.
Yeah, wild character world building.
Osinachi has such a cool like background. He did all of his stuff in like Microsoft, like all of his art, like working with an impossible medium to create like what he created.
And shout out to you too, because you got the homie Dr. Bill coming on the show, and thanks to you for the alley-oop. You could kind of give him some nuggets on that, but that guy is a future. It's like Art Blocks before Art Blocks was fucking Art Blocks.
Who knew generative art was happening in the 70s and 80s except Dr. Bill?
Yo, Dr. Bill's gonna be on the show this Tuesday coming up, which Dr. Bill, I had a chance to talk to him a little bit. His art is illusionary. I was like, damn, I'm lost in the illusion of the art here. Like, wow, it's wild, and they're all different.
think I'm living up to my name on the show with you though. The NFTs. I have so many
You're
NFTs.
teasing us, dude. You're literally dangling the cherries above my fucking forehead.
Yeah, and it's funny because I just want to go through and like shout out everybody on my roster, and it's just like we wouldn't have time. We wouldn't have time.
Dude, you're a real community builder. When you go out to these events, do you get the respect you deserve? Because I remember seeing you in LA and everyone was around you and just showing love, dude. It's like, and then you came up to me, it was like, Sensei. I was like, dude, this guy's. It was so fucking. You're like a long lost brother.
I've been man behind the curtain. I don't think a lot of people even know what I look like because I'm not a self-promoter type to go out and just like gas myself up. So I think the people that knew me were like early builders and things like that. I'm getting out there a bit more and we'll start speaking more. I think I was a bit insecure about it for a while. And so I'll be at Consensus if you guys see me out and want to say hello. Feel free, and then I'll be at NFT NYC as well. So I'm always down to just connect with whoever.
What do you love to do besides like Web3? What do you love, bro? Like, what do you like a huge whitewater rafting kind of guy, a rock climber? What?
If I get into the gym 3 times a week, I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
But like, what do I do in my free time? NFTs. No, I have a life. I do enjoy being social and going out, and especially in Austin, there's so much to do.
Good barbecue.
Oh my God.
Good briskets.
If you like barbecue, like, and I'm from North Carolina, so this is kind of blasphemy. Texas barbecue.
That
man.
sauce is different over there in Austin, but hey, it's not that sweet, tangy, vinegary.
There's
Carolina sauce.
It's pork barbecue. Let's classify it correctly. Pulled pork barbecue. It's all North Carolina. Everything else, like the ribs and the like smoky. Oh,
the mystiques.
So yeah. I'm a bit of a foodie. I write in my free time. I do a lot of writing.
Oh, you got a book coming up, dude? You writing a story? You start writing a novel? You writing the next Mr. Robot?
I might do like a couple like articles and stuff, but I'm not there yet. But yeah, I'm a media junkie, man. I just I love consuming content. But what gets me out of the house and out and about is just anything to do with like socializing with people. I love people. I think my favorite thing is story. So I built my firm around telling great stories, and I will listen to anybody's story. People that know me, I used to stop like homeless people on the street and just talk to them for like 30 minutes because nobody would talk to them. Money was one thing, but getting their story was another. So like, if I can go out and spend my time absorbing people's stories, that's my favorite place to be.
Yeah, a good story, dude, is like when your mom used to tell you and tuck you in. Like, it really opens the heart up. Like, it really gets the brain moving. It's like playing chess when you hear a random story, like, and you're really intently listening. It does something to you.
Practicing listening changed my life.
Yeah.
And so I try to get better at that every time.
Well, you're an empathetic soul, dude. I mean, not a lot of people have that empathy like you have. You can see it in your eyes. You still have your soul. You haven't joined the Illuminati yet. Metamori says smoke meats. He's also said need some fucking dry rub smoke ribs ASAP. People literally get salivated in the chat, salivating all over my chat right now. Wow, I love that.
Come to Consensus. Let's go get some barbecue, baby.
For sure, Metamori, legend. You got it. Metamori's in the States now, so I know he's gonna be doing his media tour, as he should be. I wanted to also say, dude, I see you as like a poor man's Gary V. Are you what is that? What are you gonna start getting out there making like 10 pieces of content a day? Like, what is the strategy for? Because we need other faces than Gary V, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
I've got a new director of content coming in to help me with that strategy and figure stuff out. I don't think I'll ever be at Gary's level where I'm doing content to that degree constantly. Yeah, I enjoy it to an extent, but there is a threshold there
He's
where
not even doing it like he used to, so he's taking a back seat.
I think because it's kind of the same mentality. I would rather have FaceTime with the people I'm working with, my clients, and with the people that are building in the space. And I don't want to be so self-promotional that I'm neglecting that side of the business. No, and not to throw shade. It's just like you can't spend all day, every day thinking about videos and how to edit those videos and things like that. And also live up to the expectation of, you know, I got 20 some clients I have to take care of. And I want to know everybody in my agency, not just like the people that I'm handling directly, but who my team's handling, et cetera, et cetera. So
Yeah, I'm taking the approach with the dojo as like Ragnar Lothbrok took with the Vikings. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. I'm not corrupted like Ragnar, but you know, you just build with your Viking community. You know, you build your swords, your axes, your strategies, and you start dominating the algorithm. You know, because you
love
have
that.
retainment, because you have loyal people. You don't need 10 million people. You just need 1,000 loyal people, dude. That's all you need.
You know, and it'll speak for itself. Like, you know, I don't need to tell anybody, I'll show you. And if you don't live by that philosophy, you can self-promote all day, but you've got to show up and you got to show work. And I want to show work.
What more beautiful approach to life than seeing people's lives change because you gave them some good alpha, or you just literally held their hand to finding their purpose in Web3, dude. There's nothing better than that feeling, dude.
Too many politicians out here, you know. We building, right?
Yeah. Who have you? People have kind of gone away. Look at Nate Chastain from OpenSea and stuff. You know, working with the FBI now to crack down on some of this. We talked about it yesterday on the podcast. You know, Cole is, I love Cole, but you know, he's changing his whole narrative now. He's just doubling down on good projects. He's not shilling bullshit. He's literally keeping his name clean, trying to at least.
He would benefit from ducking out of the public eye for a little bit. You know, I was a part of the conversation with like Cold Pizza and some of how his community felt a little bit neglected. I don't know him personally, so I can't speak ill of somebody I don't know. But I think when you're in that position where your talking is starting to get you in trouble and there's internal feelings and conflict that's going on, you know, you got to clean ship first before you try to sail in a different direction. So, you know, hopefully that's taken to heart. And, you know, anybody who's out there trying too hard to win over the hearts and minds of other people, just remember, you know, you can say sorry or you can say a bunch of things, but until you show them something different, they're just going to take it as an empty nicety.
One of my favorite quotes is that you can preach what you know, you can regurgitate what you heard, but you only can reproduce who you are. You know what I mean? You can only reproduce who you are. You cannot fake who you are, dude. You cannot fake the funk. Because if you're out here trying to take advantage, make a buck off someone real quick, dude, that reaps out of your pores. You smell like fucking garlic. Sif World says 100% empathetic soul. Ben has the Frodo heart. He could hold the ring of power without being corrupted.
Ooh.
Hold on, I gotta give you the hold on, he just said that. I'm gonna give you the sound, the Shire.
I gotta get my Frodo Baggins up.
I'm done. Frodo Baggins. Wow. Your bag.
I'm cheesy.
Your bags are going to Valhalla anyways, dude. You have so much good conviction plays, and we have a lot of this a similar ethos. So, dude, this was great. I really had a good time. Did we miss anything?
God, I don't know. We'll be back. I'm sure we'll be doing this again sometime soon. So,
what is when is the whole rebranding happening for the firm?
Come July, you will be seeing a lot more from us. I got new departments coming out, and I'm going to be way more involved in this space. And so I'll probably do some more speaking and things that I wasn't prioritizing in the past, just to socialize what we've got coming. But I appreciate, you giving me the platform, and hopefully after that, we go through that whole process and I'm able to share more, I can come on the show and talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I feel like I love that I have people on the platform, but I got to scale. So,
Mm.
I got to figure it out. I'm doing it super organic, like fucking Whole Foods, but eventually I need to figure that whole scale thing out.
I'll have to hook you up with our new VP, Abe. What up? Abe is a pro at scaling, so maybe we'll talk about that and get you out
Because
there.
I would love to get these. I would love to get these conversations out to the world more.
Yeah.
The way Joe Rogan fucking does it. But I'm not saying I'm Joe Rogan. I'm the sensei. Someone said, "Killer stream. Thanks, gents. Beloved, it makes me happy to have people like y'all in the space." Jackie Wilson, you're a good human. You always have been. 10 toes down. We'll give the shirt off your back. Stay who you are. Dude, also, I wanted to say, who else in the space is doing stuff like you? Like, who can you shout out that is doing public relations and marketing well in the Web3 space? I mean, you got Delphi Digital, right? But they do tokenomics and.
I mean, I love and Tom over there. I still stay in touch with him. He's got like his own EDM group because the founder of Delphi likes to party.
Ibiza.
Like, yeah, no, he's in that EDM group. He was one of the first people like I saw like mixing it up with Blau and stuff like that. Mike Nova is hilarious.
Novogratz?
Yes.
Wow.
He's such a trip. Like, I think the VC guys get a lot of slack, but if you haven't had a conversation like Nova and like haven't peered into like his mind, he's an impressive human being. But I'm going to give some love to even some of my, and I won't even call them competition because there's so much of us that we need more people. I think David Waxman is a good person. I think Kelly at Melrose PR, like she's doing great work. There's and of course, like, Gary Vee and the VaynerMedia team, I'm really impressed with everybody putting their heads together, trying to forge resources and help guide this space and move it forward. And we still have more work to do, but like, no, not one of us is going to do it alone. We're all going to do this together. So.
Well, we sure are. Dude, thank you for being the Frodo Baggins of the space. May your bags be more full of fucking rings and shit. I really appreciate your time, your energy, your mindset. The chat really learned a lot. And guys, just be who you are. Don't fake it till you make it. Keep integrity at the forefront of your mental gauge. Live the dream. Actually, I forgot. This is the part of the stream where I have to give you the gong. The gong represents just you could shill something. You can marry your loved one. You can moon the stream. Show them your beautiful teeth. Whatever the fuck you want to do. Here's the gong. Hold on. You have the floor.
What am I doing?
You have the gong. You have the floor, so you have the final word before we roll.
Oh, the final word.
Final word.
It's been a lot of. I've noticed a sentiment out there where people are feeling really down lately. I've seen a lot of people that are going through stuff right now, so I want to speak to that. I'm really an advocate for taking the mental health breaks and doing what you need and talking to people and making sure that you're doing okay. It's cool to do this NFT thing. It's cool to do this crypto thing, but take care of yourself first. If that means you have to deprioritize things, remember your health comes first. So I just got to say that to everybody. If you're listening, show your self-love first, and then everything will come into alignment once you get that together. So, be healthy.
How do you show yourself love? You know how I show myself love? I take a bubble bath with Epsom salt and fill it with cherries.
I think for me, it's God, I love pizza, but that's like rewarding myself occasionally. I make sure I get into the gym and do stuff and stay active so that I don't just like turn into an amorphous blob. But like self-love sometimes is doing the things you don't want to do too. But it is like, if you're stressed at work and you're banging your head against the wall, I think a lot of people aren't okay taking breaks. Take breaks, man. Take breaks. It's important.
Yeah, for real. You're the good side of the Kit Kat, of the Twix bar, bro. Keep on being being on the right side of history.
Right, Twix.
I'm the left side. I'm the bad guy. Not really. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about in the future. Keep building, and I salute you, and I salute your journey, guys. Live the dream, eat vegan ice cream, and above all, stay content. Peace.
Peace.
I kept the mission the same. For every loss you